welcome to JerAwards. Today we're going to recap the final season of Shadowhunters Season 3. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Daily content. If there's a day, there's a reaction. This will go by pretty quickly. The show was just 55 episodes. This had the most with 22, with 2 kind of finales, 1 finale, and then the last 2 episodes to kind of wrap up the entirety of the show since it was canceled. Even though I feel like it got canceled. I know it was studio issues, but it still got canceled like right when it was getting good, like getting going. Then again, of course, since they had to wrap it up, this is based off the 20th episode, not the 21st or 22nd, since they had to do a wrap up. But based off where the 20th episode ended, you could have had a full-blown, at least 4th season. I think ending a show after 4 or 5 seasons is probably perfect. I think 5 seasons is like the perfect time to end most shows. The only examples where it went good for the most part, Game of Thrones, but then again, once we got to the 8th season. But we're not here to talk about Game of Thrones. We're here to talk about Shadowhunters. The first episode and the last episode will be free on Patreon if you want to check those out. This is the show you all voted for. We'll talk more about that in the series recap. I'm going to go through this really quick. Season 3 was more of, hey, let's demolish hell, basically. Let's put more issues between everybody's favorite couple. Let's break up couples. Let's bring couples back together. Let's have surprise revivals and reunions and things of that nature. And it feels weird to me sitting on the side where I normally do the reactions. I'm normally like in the dead center for recaps. But again, season 3 is a weird, painful, revolving door of characters don't really ever have peace. Jace never has peace. Simon never has peace until the end. Clary never has peace. Jonathan never has peace. And that you'll see why my favorite episode is my favorite episode when we get around to it. But season 3 just improved on what season 2 improved on from the first season. Season 2 had a bunch of quality of life changes, and it ended with an absolute bang. And then here comes season 3 doing its best to keep up, and it exceeded for the most part with the introduction of Lilith, the impending revival of Jonathan, the mark of Cain, stories of Cain and Abel, and Michael and Lucifer. All those religious beats that we hit on in the show Lucifer and in the show Supernatural to now come back with it in the show of Shadowhunters. I enjoyed. I thought this was a fucking damn good season. I don't have much to go in depth on. I think I just want to dive into the JerAwards because I feel like we can be more long-winded in the series recap that'll be within a week. So essentially, feel free to click off of this if you wanted a full in-depth review of season 3. I just want to kind of do the JerAwards and the in memoriam and things. But overall, with season 3, I had fun. There are some things I feel like I would change, I guess. But then again, they did the best that they could with what they had. I do want to talk about the whole relationship between Alec and Magnus. I don't like that the show constantly had to put a wedge between them, as beautiful as those two were together, as much as you could relate to them, even if you're not somebody who, even if you're not gay, even if you're not somebody who finds the same sex attractive, or finds anyone who could look like you attractive. Like I am. I'm as basic as it fucking gets, bro. I'm a straight white male, and I love this fucking couple that they put in front of us. I just hate that there was constantly had to be a wedge put between them. I don't understand why we had to consistently over 3 seasons be like, okay, well, here's an issue, here's an issue, here's an issue. And yes, couples go through issues all the time. There was more of a revolving door to make it feel like they had to do it, I guess, instead of them just being happy-go-lucky. I think 1 or 2 issues a season would have been fine, but it felt like every 3rd episode there was something going on with them when they were the poster relationship of the show. Like it or not, I know you could probably make the deal that it was supposed to be Clary and Jace was the poster relationship. Nah. It was Malik. So with that being said, we do get a lot of good relationships. You'll notice when it comes time for the awards here in a minute, I don't have a favorite friendship of this. I don't feel like a lot of friendships, most of the really solid friendships were stretched out, or they became relationships, or they went from being relationships back to friendships, if that makes sense. Like even something like Alec and Jace, they have their moments, but they don't really bond as much as they did in previous seasons, or Izzy and Clary, Simon and Luke, and those type of deals. Simon and Raphael even. We don't get as much as we did in previous seasons because it was so story driven. But all in all, we go from doing something as wild as reviving Valentine to closing the gates of hell forever to locking one of the princes of hell in purgatory, essentially being knocked unconscious and put in a portal, to killing Lilith, to demolishing Edom, to Shadowhunters and Downworlders uniting in holy matrimony, to our main character forgetting her memories, which was obviously rushed because they had to. Not as rushed as Daenerys breaking. There were shades of it all along. No, shut up. No, we're not diving into it. I just love Game of Thrones so much. Regardless, it's rushed because they had to do it. The final shot of them being just as the first episode was, like, yes, I can see you, but now she knows his name, and their memories are slowly coming back to her, being de-ruined, and tears at the wedding. I don't know why Luke couldn't be at the wedding. I know it was Praetor business and this, that, and the other, but I feel like he still could have fucking showed up. Maybe it was scheduling issues. Who knows? Who knows? The season was great. I'm being long-winded here because my brain's scattered in a million different places for all the episodes of the show. I feel like I've watched them pretty rapidly here to be able to get them out in time for you. So I think we're just going to dive into the JerAwards, and we'll kick it off with our nominees for our favorite episode. We had Season 3, Episode 1, Episode 3, 5, 9, Season 3A finale, and Episode 10, Episode 11, 12, and there's a big gap here. It's not because I didn't like the episodes. They just weren't up to par as 9, 10, and 11 were, and even 12. So we go from 12 all the way to 19 to Episode 20, City of Glass, 21, Alliance, and then, of course, the finale, All Good Things, ellipses, ... My favorite episode of the entire show, I mean, we came off with a banger, dude. On Infernal Ground with Resurrection, What Lies Beneath, Stronger Than Heaven. Those were great episodes. But the best episode of this season, shockingly enough, is not Episode 10, which is the highest rated episode on IMDb, or is it Episode 22? It's actually Episode 11, which is Lost Souls, which is the Season 3B premiere, because we really get a sense of how lost everybody is, and that's a theme that keeps replaying throughout the course of the show. These are damaged souls, these are lost souls, all just trying to find a little bit of peace. And I will go ahead and give a shout out to the worst scene before I get into my favorite scene. You can make an argument for why it was done. I think Simon making his mother think that he's dead instead of just mind wiping her again, or coming up with some sort of story to make her go through that grief and to never be able to see her again, even when the opportunity arose with that cure that they had, is just fucking violently stupid, in my opinion. I didn't like nothing about it. That seems to be what all the rave and ranting was on IMDb reviews and this, that, and the other. I just thought it was dumb. Like, you could do anything else. And I guess because I put myself in that position talking to my mother, I fucking wouldn't. I would be like, hey, I know you think I'm a monster. This is what happened. I fucking died. I came back to life. I can't help what I am. Then again, my mother would be way more understanding than his mother. I think my mom would be more along the lines of how his sister was and how cool, calm, and collected that she was with the situation. But that was definitely the dumbest moment in the show for me. I think overall, a lot of dumb things happen because, again, rushed. It's a cringy young adult thing. But we come back around to favorite episode, which is Lost Souls. It's a rewatchable episode. So if we had the dumbest scene included in the last thing, I can also give you my favorite scene, our nominees. From 3-1, Alec and Magnus playing pool and making up. From 3-2, the dinner. From 3-3, Magnus and Mama Alec having dinner. From 3-9, Valentine's Resurrection. From 3-12, Magnus and Alec's little training session. The boys were horny. From 3-18, all of Becky's scenes. From 3-20, Magnus and Alec making up yet again. Do you see what I'm fucking talking about? From 3-21, everybody greeting Magnus and Edom. From 3-22, everybody laid up post-sex after saving the universe. Or the wedding, also from the finale. I honestly think that my favorite scene from all of this was probably the Malik wedding, because it's something that was long overdue. And while a lot of other things were really enjoyable throughout, them two getting married and having their moment and having a smooch. Yeah. Good shit. Most heartbreaking scene. There was a lot of moments that could rip your heart out in this. From 3-3, Raphael talking to Rosa. Ugh. From 3-5, Alec looking through the Magnus box. From 3-5, Jace asking for help. From 3-6, Heidi getting drugged again. From 3-9, Maya talking to Kyle. From 3-9, Simon's mom telling him to stay away after feeding on his sister. From 3-11, Jace mourning. From 3-14, Maya talking to Jordan after he passed. From 314, Luke seeing his pack was dead. From 318, Alec breaking up with Magnus. From 320, Magnus leaving to save everyone. Or from 322, Jace seeing Clary with no memory. Let's be fucking real here. The breakup scene and Magnus begging him not to go, and Alex still being like, I'm sorry, I can't. Real tears. It wasn't as much as I cried during like the Vampire Diaries or the originals or the finale of Supernatural. And that's not to compare or say one thing's better than the other. But that moment felt so real, like you were watching two people that you know shouldn't be break up. It almost felt like I was being broken up with. Like that's what it felt like in that moment, was like, this is a world crushing thing happening to this warlock. And yeah, it's pretty fucking painful, dude. Funniest scenes, I'll save the winner for last. From 3-6, oh my god, Jace, it's you. From 310, I read enough young adult, when am I going to turn? From 312, bedroom now. My favorite was the butterfly tattoo at the dinner. That meaning that Jace talked about Maya's butterfly tattoo from them hooking up in the alleyway, and nobody knew that they had hooked up, including Clary and Simon. It goes back, I think it's so funny because it reminds me of the Lucifer moment where Dan thought he was about to have a threesome. Yeah. Favorite kiss? I mean, there's a couple things here, but the winner was the makeup kiss between Magnus and Alec in season 3, episode 20. I'm not even going to list the other ones because I really don't care. I mean, even Simon and Izzy in 21, which was well weighted on, I don't care. Favorite kill? There were some doozies, man. I don't have the episode title, but Russell stabbing that dude in the fucking face, that was sick. From 3-1, Clary killing the demon bug. From 3-5, Lilith killing Ethereal. Oh, that was just... They made her out to be a lot cooler than she ended up being. From 321, Izzy killing things with her firepower. Izzy killing Lilith in the next episode in 22. Or Clary killing Jonathan. I think my favorite kill of the whole thing was... I think it was Lilith killing Ethereal because it came out of nowhere and it was fucking violent. I really enjoyed that. Let's go with favorite ship. Again, there's no favorite friendship this time around. Favorite ship. Listen, there was a bunch. There was Maya and Jordan. I don't really care about them. Maya and Simon, but they broke up. I don't care. Jason Clary, I even don't care that much about. Simon and Izzy was growing on me there for a minute. Luke and Mama Lightwood. I was locked in for that shit. But if your favorite ship isn't Alec and Magnus, are we even watching the same show? Because that's your winner. Most underrated character, of course, is Magnus. Least favorite character, Victor Aldertree was up for nomination, but least favorite character is fucking Sebastian. And I'm sorry, not Sebastian. Take that back. That poor innocent boy, Jonathan. Jonathan. Favorite character? Magnus. Over Simon. Yeah, just Magnus. Because why the fuck wouldn't it be? You know, Simon's close, but him being mad at Maya for killing Heidi and then making his mom think he was dead took him down a few pegs for me, you know? When it comes to favorite season and season rankings from last place to first place, we only had 3 seasons. Season 1 is my least favorite, entitled Holy Grail. This was the search for the cup. Season 2, From the Heavens, was Summoning the Angel. And Season 3, which is my favorite, we entitled To Hell and Back. This was Going to Edom, dealing with Lilith, Asmodeus, etc., etc. To Hell and Back, the resurrection of Jonathan turning into a demon, Sealy Queen, this, all that, and the other. Season 3, easily my favorite season. For season finale, Season 1, we have an army. This is Valentine with the cup and all of his people. Season 3, shockingly, is in number 2. That's Self-Sacrifice, Clary giving up her memories to stop Jonathan. And my favorite finale was episode 2, From the Ashes. This is Jace coming back, Jonathan coming back, her mom coming back, killing Valentine, or Mother. I have Mother written. Maybe that's just the Lilith thing. Yeah, Mother being summoned, Lilith killing Valentine, all of those things happening. Season 2 ended with a fucking boom. A boom. as almost a fucking perfect episode. Just for Patreon peeps, your most rolled number this time around was the number 3, which was rolled 3 times. The number that was rolled at the end of season 3, episode 22, was the number 19 in total. We rolled a 3, a 7, and a 9. We rolled a bunch of numbers once. We didn't roll 2, 4, 6, 13, 16. And I think that's all for the numbers. Overall, in the entire show, we never rolled the number 13. So that is going to lead us to our In Memoriam, in loving memory, to the following characters for season 3. Right, we got Tim's wife, Rufus, Morgan, the Black Putty Monster, Leo, Ethereal, Charles, Trevor, all of the people at the Clave, Valentine, Morgenstein, after being resurrected. Dead again, Merrick, Russell, Heidi McKenzie, Iris Roos, Lanala, Vera, Jordan Kyle, Lilith, the Sealy Queen, Jonathan Christopher Morgenstern, and of course, Clary's Memories. One more time around for Valentine, Russell, Heidi, Iris, Jordan, Lilith, the Sealy Queen, Jonathan, and Clary's Memories. A lot more people died, but there was a lot of filler shit that nobody gave a damn about. So, rest in peace or rest in piss to those people, however you feel about them. It was a good season, and again, it sucks that it got canceled, and you'll hear me kind of repeat that throughout the course of the series recap when we do it. It's just a shame they couldn't get, I don't know, at least 16 more episodes, you know? Just give them like a smaller season or something like they did around the first season, just to help wrap up the story properly. And I know even if they rebooted it, we're not going to get the same characters. If they got another season, it'd be hard to pick up because you did wrap it up with the Clary moment. So it would have to be a reboot. That's all. But that's season 3 in just. We have trailers coming up. We have bloopers coming up. I'll actually give you the schedule here in just a second. We have this recap. That's very bright. We have trailer 1, 2, and 3. We're going to wrap it up with all the bloopers, the character rankings, and then, of course, the series recap. And then starting on August the 22nd will be season 1, episode 1 of Legacies. So I will see you all there. Thank you for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed Shadowhunters. We'll talk more in depth on it here soon. As always, links and everything will be in the description box down below. Playlist will be up on screen. Stay cute, stay hydrated, and I will catch you on the next one.